Adequate anesthesia is all about the balance between hypnotics and analgesics and the interaction. And interaction is also implemented in the Tivatrainer. We start up a simulation of remifentanil, and for the ease of use I'm going to use it in a TCI mode. Going to change the input mode, go for TCI, and let's say we go for a target of 5 nanograms per ml. Accept this, and this will be the resulting concentration, of course, in the effect site and the blood concentration, and the change in infusion rate to obtain this concentration. Can zoom a little bit out over time, a little bit more than an hour, and now I'm going to start another simulation with Marsh pharmacokinetics, what's available in the old diffuser, but also many of the other target controlled infusion systems. I'm not going to change the patient, and what you will see is this area in the simulation of the propofol, which shows the 90% and 50% area of adequate anesthesia, whereas the purple line is the border of 50% awake and 50% asleep. So if I change anything in my remifentanil simulation, and let's say we go for a little bit lower target over here, and let's say we decrease this to 3.4, then you will see that this is reflected in an increase, and this is non-linear, an increase in the propofol concentration required to stay in adequate anesthesia zone. So let's just start up a target controlled infusion of propofol around the same time, and we switch to TCI. And so with this higher remifentanil I probably need a blood concentration of around 3.6 to be in the area of 90% adequate anesthesia. But the moment I decrease my remifentanil, you can see that the concentration more closely goes to the 50% adequate anesthesia, which may or may not be too low. You also can see the increase in the 50% edge of being awake and being asleep. Now, by the end of anesthesia, I probably want to have a somewhat higher higher concentration of the remifentanil, because that is the most fast acting drug. So I could play around with this concept of interaction, and let's say I would go for a little bit higher, go to 7, and then say done, and you can see I can decrease now my propofol concentration to a lower level to still have adequate anesthesia, and by the end of the procedure, when I switch off my remifentanil, then you can see that that this predicts a fast wake up, and even if I would leave my propofol running at the same time, there's a chance that the patient may wake up after a certain period because of the decrease in the concentration of the remifentanil. So I switched the propofol also, and you can see that after a few minutes the patient will wake up. Well, the other opioids are also simulated, so if I would overdose at this moment my patient with fentanyl, for example, and if I'm afraid for post-operative pain but I miscalculated my dosage, then you can see that it has a big impact on the, let's say go for a bolus of, do crazy, go for 10 mils. And you will see that this bolus will increase the adequate anesthesia, decrease the adequate anesthesia, and it may take a quite long while before the patient actually is going to wake up. Or it's not true. Patient is actually not waking up at all. I have to say it's also a very big bolus. So you can see that it will take a long time now, almost 15 minutes, for the patient reaches the concentration where the propofol concentration is low enough for the patient to wake up.